And now, live from goddamn Zoom, it's the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Alison welcomes her guests. He's a musician and podcaster whose hatred of Christmas will not be tolerated. It's Todd Cooper. He's a comedian and podcaster. At least he used to be. He may now be doing cameos for a living. It's Paul F. Tompkins. Daniel Quantz is here, and he insists you don't follow him on social media, where his handle is @DanielQuantz. I'm the bad boy of podcasting, Tony Thaxton, and this is my last show for almost 2 months, telling you to hold back those tears and say hello to your new best friend, Alison Rosen.
Alison Rosen, Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison, Alison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little devil dogs. Welcome to another exciting Thursday episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon by Nancy Sylvester. Yes, I am on Patreon, and we just released a Patreon bonus episode of The Friend Zone with Daniel Quantz and me answering your questions. And Daniel got emotionally naked, I would say. So if you want to hear Daniel's emotional nudity and other stuff, it's all a blur. I kind of forget what we talked about. I know we talked about Paris, and Daniel's emotional nudity happened, and then lots of other stuff. I feel it was a very strong episode. And then there's been also lots of other strong episodes and other fun stuff.
Not to toot your own horn, but fucking toot.
I flashed my emotional penis.
Beep. That's right. There was emotional dong and emotional balls. And also, you can see this video. 2 people are wearing fun hats. One is more fun than the other. That's a Patreon reward. There's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. Although there is, and I love my Patreon subscribers. And I love the way when they are passionate about something, they begin to organize. And I am hearing a faint drumbeat of people rabble-rousing and demanding that they get to text Daniel and
crazy.
That Daniel responds to them. So listen, I hear you. I hear your demands. I see where this is headed. So I guess pretty soon you'll get to text Daniel. I don't know how this is going to work. But anyway, all sorts of fun stuff. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Subscribe for a year. Get 2 months for free, plus a couple of texts from Daniel, I guess. Anyway, this is Tony's Picks number 5. Now, for anyone who's jumping in for this episode, this was just a fun thing we decided to do for the summer because I'm tired. Like everyone, I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I've been doing this show for a long time. Tony's young. He's a whippersnapper.
You're not that much older than me.
Tony, he's wet behind the ears. He's just cutting his teeth. And I said, hey, young Tony, I have an idea. On the face of it, it's ridiculous. What if you booked the show? Oh my God, imagine how disastrous that could be. But it'd be funny. It'd be funny how crazy it'd be like one of those, old fashioned radio stunts. People would tune in just to see how ridiculous it would be.
This is all great for my ego right now, the way you're setting this up. Making me feel great.
I know. I'm joking. But it seemed like a fun idea just to shake things up. And I decided, as a vote of confidence, I said, Tony, let's do 2 episodes. But then it went so well. Tony has just been knocking him out of the park left and right. It's stretched into 5 episodes. Tony undertook the intro as well, which Daniel has been doing for years now and been trying to get out of. And Tony has been doing it so well that not only am I like, Tony, there's nothing he can't do. But I'm like, or Daniel, is it really not as hard as you've been claiming for all these years? I don't know. But anyway, Tony, I can't believe this is your last episode before you go on tour. And I mean, you have really, this episode is just starting. But already I can say, what a strong finish to Tony's picks.
Let's hope. Don't fuck this up, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Todd Cooper, you're Tony's Felice Navi Pod co-host. The only repeat Tony's Picks guest because you were here for Tony's Picks number 3.
That's right. I
And
forced my way back on the show.
everyone loved you so much. We're like,
man.
that guy's got to be a regular. I mean,
Ha!
Mapril, Januarkle, No Offense, None Taken, which is where you claim you said to me, no offense, none taken. And I was like, hey, it's my prerogative to say none taken. You don't get to say that for me. But I've been
Throw it
laughing
around.
about it ever since.
You've been throwing it around ever since?
Well, I've been laughing about it.
Oh,
ever
good,
since.
good. Good.
And occasionally.
On the day, I thought you were mad at me, and I was worried. I thought, this is it. And then Tony said she wants you back, and I thought, thank goodness, because I thought I really done it in there with that business.
Or maybe I wanted you back to tell you in person that I never want to see you again.
Don't do it. Except for this one time. Now go.
That's right. That's right. And then also, oh my God, a podcast legend, someone that I've had on the show before, but never on the Thursday show, which is just insane. Paul F. Tompkins in the perfect hat for Memorial Day.
Hi. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hi,
So
Paul.
nice to see you.
It's great to be back. Oh, my voice is different now. I forgot to, I don't know if I mentioned that before we talked, but yeah, I have a different voice now. It's like this.
I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Now, was this a choice or did this voice choose you?
I got struck by lightning.
Oh my goodness.
It was weird. It was weird. This was the only effect, really.
Wow.
My voice is a little bit deeper than it was.
Wow. Now, you have now more chance than someone else of this happening to you again, they say.
Oh, no. That's the last thing I want to hear.
I know. But that is what they say.
But now you have what they call lightning insurance, which means that it's less likely that you will get struck by lightning because you know me.
Right. So
I can't do this bit. I apologize to everyone.
oh, now I remember who you are.
Right. Thank you for
Welcome
having me.
back.
I'm thrilled to be with this fun group of people.
We're thrilled to have you. Does your microphone foam match your
the
hat?
drapes. The whole.
Well, mine does. Mine's black.
Yes, my microphone color scheme does match my hat color scheme.
Is that on purpose?
Not really, and now it's embarrassing.
No, I love it. All right.
For your love of the Joker.
Come on now.
I
Why does
know.
he get to... I'm taking these colors back from the Joker. Why should he be the only guy who gets to wear a purple suit now the prince is dead?
That's a good point.
Thank
I take
you.
I take it back. I'll cut this out of the episode.
Who
Hey, did you guys
else?
see that Batman movie?
The Batman?
The new one? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's like dark. This is Batman as I've never seen it before.
I started watching it. I've not finished it yet. But yeah,
I haven't finished it either on purpose.
yeah, there's almost no action in it at all.
It's one of the
Yeah.
quietest comic book movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. When I tried to watch it, I was eating dinner and I had to turn it off because I could not hear the movie over my chewing.
Tony,
I'm not lying.
That's why I like to watch everything with subtitles because
Yeah.
of snacking.
But now,
Yeah.
full disclosure, a typical dinner for Tony is a big plate of hard pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
Pop rocks for dessert.
He'll eat, yes,
Exactly. Yeah.
Only crunch.
Yeah.
they crunch. This guy likes things that crunch.
Tony, is that why you hate bananas?
Because they're not crunchy.
Right.
Because they're so mushy?
They're the opposite of crunch.
Yeah. Get the
Do you
fuck outta here,
only like
bananas.
a crisp apple?
Honeycrisp is my favorite apple.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
He
Right
likes
there.
food that has percussion.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
all
How-
checks out.
How bold is it of red, delicious apples to
Yeah.
name themselves that?
It's awful.
Name
Like, well, they are
themselves.
red, so I guess they must also be delicious. Like, I'm not stupid. I'll decide.
But they're also
Well,
not delicious.
I will. No,
Right.
they're not. Exactly. There's so many better apples. I'd rather have a Granny Smith.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
like-
a bad name. That name, like that, they got away with that, and they sell them. They still sell them.
Here's why I think it works, Todd. And then I'll take my answer off the air. I think that it works because
Granny Smith when you're a kid, you think that's for grannies. And then when you get older, you're like, no, I understand what they're saying. You need a sophisticated palate to enjoy this apple.
You got to grow
And it's sort of
into this
an in joke among adults.
thing. Oh, child, you won't like this. It's a granny Smith.
It's for grannies.
Wait, Paul,
Yes, Allison.
I take apple choice seriously, and I'm not even a big apple connoisseur. And I like that your expression.
Then that's strange.
I know. I'm just nosy when it comes to apples.
Oh,
I
now
just
we
am
get down to it.
opinionated.
Yeah.
But I like that your expression was like, as you should. Do you have a favorite apple? Tony, this is dangerously close to snack chat, I think. Do you have a favorite apple?
Oh,
Because
shit.
people are passionate.
Is there going to be a jingle?
People. That's right. People are, and some of them are even on this show, passionate about Honeycrisp, and I am not one of them. I've tried. So I do the same thing, Tony. I don't know where you stand on this one. It's another crunchy fucking food. I don't like grape nuts. I've tried so many times. I can't get behind them. And with Honeycrisp, I'm like, what am I missing? I like Gala. I like Fuji. But the Honeycrisp, I'm like, there's nothing about this that makes me have to wax poetic like so many people.
Have we talked about putting your Honey Crisps in the fridge?
You have.
Okay, I couldn't remember if I talked about that because I think that's key. I think they're even better.
We haven't talked about that, but I know you won't stop talking about it.
I don't even know if I feel like that would hurt my teeth, but I'll give it a go.
They're not
When are they going to
that
get those
crunchy.
cotton candy in those apples? They got them in grapes. What are we waiting for? Smush that cotton candy into every fruit.
I heard those grapes are not good.
Who
said
never
that?
had one?
Nothing. I
Take
made
it.
it up.
The red delicious apple said it.
Yeah, I heard that somebody tried them. Somebody I know tried them and said they weren't good, which is really, it's very disappointing to me because when I first heard of cotton candy grapes, I was like, I want to try those grapes. And then I would just forget about them because I can't keep grapes on my mind for too long.
Yeah.
You got grape room in your head?
If they're in front of me, sure, I'm thinking about them. If they're out of sight, they are out of mind.
I'll tell you what, sneak you one at the grocery store next time you're there. I think you'll be happy about it.
All
I
right.
like them.
Here's the thing. I did that once. If I ever run for public office, Tony, destroy this bit of the internet that this lives on. And I do not recall thinking it tasted like cotton candy, even though I had been told they taste exactly like cotton candy. But Daniel claims that I did at the time say it tasted like cotton candy. And this is weird because I'm someone who thinks I have a good memory.
This is
Well,
a
here's the
real
thing.
he said, she said.
Well,
One of my favorite movies, by the way, with Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth Perkins.
here's
One
the
of
thing,
so
Allison.
good.
You have a very good memory, and I have a terrible memory.
Oh, then I'm right.
So let me tell you what happened.
Oh, this is great.
You tried it, and we both agreed that it did taste like cotton candy.
So that's how you remember it. Okay. And
As far as I
now
know, that's how it went down.
although we already did the she said. So this is she said, he said, she said. Here's how it happened. We tried it and I didn't think it tasted like cotton candy. That's my memory of it.
That was
This
a
should be a movie.
rewinding noise, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for that, Paul.
Okay, guys, I'm going to try a new oratory style, a new rhetorical style. I'm trotting it out in front of a real A team here. And it's interesting that I'm trying it, this many years into the show. But I'm going to try making a point with my story and offering. I'm going to make
That'd
the
be a
point
great idea.
at the top.
This is refreshing.
I'm gonna just normally my stories are windy and long-winded, and then I get to the point like at the very end, but it really is asking a lot of everyone around me and the listeners. So I'm like, you know what? Why not just do the ask, as our corporate friends would say, at the top, and then offer the commentary and fill in any, connect the dots after. I'm just going to see how it goes. And so when it gets to the point where I'm asking for feedback from everyone on the show and also the listeners, I would like feedback on, do you like my new storytelling style? And do you think I should allow my mother-in-law to clean up and organize my desk? That's the question. So this is what I want to know. This is the question, and I'm offering it without context. Should I let my
I'll say.
mother-in-law? What'd you say?
Nothing.
Okay. Should I let my mother-in-law organize my desk and 3 boxes of shit that are sitting next to my desk and all the piles on top of them? Allow me to back up and fill in the blanks, okay?
You're already not doing what you.
I just want to have a picture in my head. So there's the desk, which is a mess. There's the 3 boxes, and then there's the piles on top of the 3 boxes.
Balanced on top of the 3 boxes.
Right. Okay.
And just to let you know, like, how disorganized these piles are, I'm trying to remember.
Piles.
Yeah. But like, I'm sort of remembering what's in them. And I think we replaced our microwave, but I decided for some reason to keep the plate that is inside the microwave that
Valuable.
rotates, because who knows, you might need it, you know?
That's in the piles on top of the boxes?
Wait,
Daniel,
what?
take a gander. Do you see
I was
that
assuming
plate?
papers.
It's a
I didn't
lot of
know there were-
papers.
I didn't know there were hard objects in there.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. There's papers. Like, I've had 2 children in the last 5 years. There's like packets from the hospital because I can't bear to say goodbye to that. And
Honestly,
also,
I can't. It's so there's so much shit over there.
I think that plate
can't
might
make
be
out.
in there. There's also like ancillary piles. I mean, there's just a lot of
I
stuff.
think there's a family of possums in there.
We've done a lot of, and I say we, that doesn't include me. There's been so Daniel's mom is here till Thursday. There's been a flurry of cleaning that's been going on in the house since then. So at this point, our office used to contain the mess of all of us, but everyone got their shit. Thank you. The Mess of All of Us by William Faulkner. Everyone got their shit together except for my corner of the room. I mean,
Does
you're
the
looking.
corner of the room get its shit together, or is there a person responsible for it?
Yeah. I mean, that being said, like, patreon.com/Alison Rosen, you can see behind Daniel, it's not that neat, but like, it's actually much neater than it was in there. So Daniel's mom is like a Roomba, but for organization. You just let her go and she just goes through stuff and like she enjoys it. She's really good at it. And I am not a hoarder, but I have all the makings of what could be one. I am lazy. I'm very indecisive. I'm sentimental.
Ain't that hoarder?
You're
stupid.
lazy. I'm a piece of garbage.
I'm dumb. No one likes me.
Classic hoarder.
Let me be more compassionate. Well, maybe let me take laziness out of it.
Yes. Because you know that it's not laziness.
Well, on top of all the compassionate reasons that someone might become a hoarder, additionally, I personally am lazy. So you can just imagine, I tire easily.
I'll take your word. That's not laziness. That's like
I'm
you're
just
just continuing to live.
I exist. I mean, look, I'm just not someone who likes to wake up and roll my sleeves up and do shit. And I feel like that's something that if you're someone who likes to do that, you're a tidy person. I don't know. I'm just saying, I have a problem with I'm not a person who is good at being organized and like getting rid of stuff that needs getting rid of, because that has always been a challenge for me, because it involves making decisions about what to keep and what not to keep. And that has always been hard for me. And I imagine there's like, unprocessed stuff that like gets collected in the stuff. And there's just all the issues that would make for someone hanging on to a lot of junk.
When I went through the garage a couple years ago to just clean shit out and tidy up the garage, which was like full of boxes, I found boxes that Alison had packed from her move from New York. One just with junk, but one of them actually she had seemingly taken the trash
I didn't. It got
Which she had-
I hired movers to pack up my
So she had
apartment because
previously
I
decided
got
this
to the
was-
point where I couldn't do it anymore.
This was trash, but she had to take the trash.
I've moved
Sentimental
trash
trash.
before. I've done
So
that.
we had a
before.
box full of trash.
I've
Yeah,
never
so it's
moved
like a
actual trash, but I definitely have moved things like a box of shit that I had not
yeah.
looked at in a million years, would never look at again,
Yeah.
and still packed it on up, and it's sitting in my house.
Mhm.
But then
So
you get in the motion of unpacking boxes, and you get to that one, you're like, damn it, I should have thrown this away at the old. Yeah.
Yeah, and I should
So-
just throw it away, sight unseen, right now. I should close this lid and get rid of it. But no.
We need to do like a controlled burn. You know what I mean? Of all of that stuff, just burn it out.
So the 3 boxes that are the foundation of the piles, those are boxes that were that were packed up.
The piles stand on the shoulders of boxes.
Those were boxes that were packed up when we moved from our Hancock Park apartment. Paul F. Tompkins, you have been in that one. That's where I interviewed you last.
That's right.
It smelled like dog pee. So
I don't recall that, but I'll take
thank
your
you
word
very
for it.
much. I don't think I was consciously fishing, but perhaps subconsciously. So those have not really been fully opened up since that move.
Mhm.
So anyway, all I'm saying is Diane, your mom, Daniel's mom, is in like full on Marie Kondo organization mode. Like we have this console when you walk in that was our table that has like kids art, 1,000 bottles of sunscreen, all of our masks, a mail that is addressed not to us with like, you know, we don't live here written on it. It just so much stuff. Oh, like water filters.
We
Like,
don't
oh,
live
That's not-
here.
That's not what's written on it. No,
Oh.
Bad message to send to the post office. We don't live here.
they're very confused.
that's not what is written on it.
Yeah.
Sorry. What do you do right on it, Daniel?
It's like no one here by that name or something, or
Return to sender.
I give her
It
not at
implies
this
that they do
address.
live there, right? Because if it's them saying we,
What?
yeah.
What this? I think this
We don't live
person
here.
doesn't live here. Is what was written on
Right.
it. Something like that. I don't know. Somehow, because she also like gets up at 4:30 a.m. or so. This woman is crazy.
Right.
She's so effective at all this stuff. It was like cleaned off and everything is put in one basket. I don't know where everything else is. And weirdly, I'm okay with that. So the question is,
The question
Do-
that you were getting right to.
do I let her
tackle your
work her
desk.
magic on this area that needs its magic worked on? My initial gut impulse is like, of course I don't, because it is my desk. I mean, pride. It feels like way too personal. It's like saying, could you organize my underwear drawer? But also like just to have it done. I know Paul is giving me a look like it's not, but if there's not underwear in there, there could be, I don't know.
well, there might be. Yeah, I mean that microwave plate's in there. All
Yes.
bets are off.
Has she offered to do this?
no, but she, Oh my God.
A lot here. Like
She
that is a
would-
hell of a task.
Yeah.
she would, Daniel,
What should we have her install a new fence in the front yard?
I think
I don't know.
we have been
Should we
together
do
for going on like 11 years. She would,
Maybe.
I think, maybe I have misread the signs, but I think she would love to.
Yeah.
She keeps saying,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
I'm,
I'm not
maybe
sure
this
about
is
that.
one, look, is this one of those like polite society has all sorts of unspoken rules, and brash Alison comes in and doesn't understand the rules? Because it's possible. I can understand. Maybe in the same way that like she loves nothing more than doing your laundry, I have misread that as like she would also love to clean my microwave plates and stuff. But she keeps
describe
saying,
her as a Roomba. You just picture her outside your just banging into
Yeah.
the door.
Like she's just a
Waiting to
mindless
get
drone who lives to pick up trash.
no, but I mean,
She unnerves dogs.
Right.
Sometimes cats ride on her.
Yeah.
like, if there's not something for her to clean and organize, I don't know what she's going to do. Thankfully, we have given her
I mean,
stuff to clean and organize.
the thing about your desk is that it's like incredibly personal. Like,
I know.
She wouldn't necessarily know what to do with it either.
Oh, I know.
It's not like you have some sort of organizational, oh, okay, this goes in this file or something. You have no
I
files.
know, but she could probably erect some system for that.
I mean, there is a microwave plate in there. It just doesn't feel that personal to me.
That's a wide ranging system.
That's right.
But that takes into account like kitchen items in
But
addition
imagine
to like
yourself-
an expired contract from 2003.
There's
But
so
imagine
many
someone-
of those that I hang
imagine
on to because
someone
I'm like,
tasked-
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what so much of the stuff that you hang on to, like paperwork, you're like, how many years do I have to have this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Like
Absolutely.
the government's going to come get me because I threw my taxes away from
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Yeah.
is, like,
I had
insane.
folders and folders of like,
Yep.
business documents or whatever. And then like after, I want to say like 15 years, I was like,
Yep.
what am I doing?
I know.
These have never come into
Yes.
play.
And
What a file
You never have to
cabinet.
document your life on that level.
It's not like, I wasn't talking to like a tax accountant. He's like, you have the hard copy, right? From
Right.
2009. It's like, oh shit, I just got rid of it.
We're going to need to see that Staples receipt.
Yeah. That's right.
And
Tell me
the
that.
problem is, based on my organizational system, which I think I've, described as being not airtight, when I go to look for whatever it is, I have trouble finding it, which is why I have like 9 copies of my second child's birth certificate, because I was like, I need to find, like, back when shit seemed to be going south. I feel like it's gone south a number of times this pandemic. I was like, I've got to get
But
birth
now it's
I've gotta
finally
get-
great.
right.
On the swing- on the
Thankfully, it
upswing.
righted itself. But I was
right.
I was like, I need to get birth certificates for them so that we can get passports for them. And I don't know where Owen's birth certificate is. I don't even think I ever got it from the hospital. So I'm going to like pay money to get it from one of these like expedite your birth certificate things. So I did, or maybe, regardless, I did that. And then I couldn't find it. So I did it again. So now we have a lot of, your mom could find all the birth certificates, Danielle.
Imagine this.
Can we go back a little bit, though, and just discuss whether she would want to do this? She keeps saying to me, please let me know if there's any project I can tackle. And I take
she
her at her
might.
word.
Look, imagine you're tasked with cleaning someone's desk, covered in papers and who knows what.
Gifted with the opportunity they entrust you with what seems to be a thankless task. And you bill yourself as someone who loves to organize.
And you come across a microwave plate, right? A microwave turntable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what to do with it because you wouldn't you would think this must be important. There must be a reason.
But when you
this person-
get to the car battery, it will all make sense.
yeah, it's not like there's a natural boy, I'm used to organizing offices. You definitely want to put the microwave stuff in the
Should
place.
Violet
I start a
under
microwave
M.
pile? Should I start a microwave pile? Or
Yeah.
Alice,
Here's
here's
the-
that letter in there.
I have a lot of empathy for this because I have that situation going on in our garage right now. It's a nightmare in there. It's 100% my fault. My wife tries to, she always says we, and it's like, it's not we, it's me. And you know that you've really lost track of it when you forget where the things are. Like when you can't, even when it's a mess, you're like, well, I know it's under these things or whatever. And then when you don't have that anymore, you're like, this has gotten away from me and it's a real problem. And, there is that. I am also resistant to outside help because it does feel like I know what's important. I know what's not important. I just have to do it. But at a certain point, it does seem to make sense to give it over to someone else. However, I will say this. We did this once before with the same garage and it really helped, but we hired people to come help with it. Like they didn't just do it all, but they were helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Like sorting things out and everything. I lost a very important item that was mine. And I will never be convinced that I lost it any other way. It was a custom made hat that was like, there's no way it was in a box. Like I didn't lose this somewhere else. Like it was definitely, it got mixed in with things that were to go. and it's gone forever.
Oh man.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's hard to say because look, that was not like they threw away medicine of mine. You know what I mean? So it's annoying and it's a real drag. But it was helpful to have those people there. It was good to have that for us to get that done. So it did outweigh. I have to think of it as it outweighs the negative aspect. But that said, it's such a fucking mess. And there are things that I absolutely do need are mixed in with things that I don't need. And I will have to be the one to sort through it.
How did it work with those people? Like, were they, because I know someone who hired organizers, and my sense from watching Instagram stories, which I think is like a documentary, is that like basically they're like, okay, put stuff into piles of stuff you want to keep and stuff you want to, get rid of. And I'm like, well, that's exactly what I'm trying not to have to do.
Yeah, but you have to do that. You know that you have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way. That's the only way.
Enter Diane.
So Diane makes the piles and then you look at, but how does she know? Do you watch her picking things up and then you say what pile it goes in?
There's a real flaw in this system.
What part of it do you not like? You don't like putting things in piles, or don't like deciding what to throw away?
I mean, I don't. Okay. From the top, I get a big old garbage bag. I sit down. First of all, I got to take an allergy pill. Take an allergy pill. Sit at my desk. Now I'm bending over. All right, I don't like that. I've got a big old garbage. I've got a garbage bag. And I'm going to be putting like magazines and college, unread college magazines in there, and I'm gonna think to myself, should I read these? I got to see like who died from college and stuff like that. That's gonna take some time. Eventually I'm just gonna toss them in. They're gonna poke holes in the plastic, and I didn't even recycle them, and I probably should have. Then I'm gonna go through, and then I'm gonna find pens, and I'm like, should I just throw these out? I should probably see what pens work or not. So then I'm going to take time like writing with each pen, and then that's just going to take too long. And then my hands are going to start to get sticky. Okay. And then it's like now 45 minutes has passed. I should probably check my email. Oh, no. Okay. Now I've made no dent, and now it's even more messy. Then I'm going through, and then it's like, oh, here's a list from so here's some stuff from when Elliot was in the NICU. I don't need this anymore, but that was Elliot when he was a tiny baby. Like, I can't throw that out. I'll just put this in a pile over here. I don't really know what to do with this. Oh, here's a greeting card from my mom and dad. They just signed their name. I don't really need to, but my dad's going to die. So I should keep this. Oh, and then here's this. And then I don't know what I should, you know what I mean? It's just like, and now I have more piles, and my back is hurting because I've been hunched over. What do I do?
Well,
I have a
doesn't sound like
suggestion
you're
for this,
emotionally connected to this stuff at all.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for you, which is
Yes, please.
don't do it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, is there a better way?
First of all, don't get comfortable when you're doing it. Honestly, sit on the fucking floor and do it. And also, you have to, this helped me a lot because we do it in the house when we're getting rid of stuff. We have like a sort of, if something comes in, something goes out policy with stuff. And so it got me to be a lot better at making what used to feel like a hard decision, but just cutting to the chase of, I'm not going to use this again. I don't need it.
Yeah.
So like all the pens and shit like that, get rid of them. If you have to write with a pen to see if it's still good, you're not using the pen, get rid of the pen. They're just pens.
This is so
You know what I
true.
mean?
They're not that
It's like-
expensive.
It's
Right.
really, exactly. It
Plus,
does
it's
feel,
fun to buy new pens.
it is fun to buy new pens, but don't get new pens until you get rid of old pens.
Oh my God.
But
You
it
get
really is like
disconnect
once
from
you-
the shame of
Yeah,
throwing stuff
the
out.
the shame is it's so powerful. It's
Yeah.
so powerful because all you think is like, I wasted money. This is
Yep.
a waste. It feels so bad, and you feel like a fucking jerk. But it's like it feels so much better to get rid of that stuff. It feels so good. You really feel like you accomplished something, and you feel like you did the right thing. It's like, this is just junk that's lying around. I'm
There
not
was
helping anybody.
There was a point during the pandemic where I couldn't stand our clothing closet anymore, and I went in and just grabbed piles of stuff. And I had been hanging on to like sweatpants and things from before I got pregnant. This is going to shock you, but there was a pair of sweatpants that I had a real emotional connection with. And I was like, you know what? I don't need these anymore, even if I can fit into them. And I put them on and I could fit into them. I mean, I was close, but I was like, even when I get to the point where I can really wear them again, I don't think I'm going to need to or want to. Like, I don't. And I was ready to say goodbye to a lot of those clothes. And I really did feel so much better and lighter once I had cleared out a lot of that stuff. So I know exactly what you mean about like, it really is like a weight being lifted off when you get rid of the stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like I would love to be one of those people who doesn't have all the emotional attachment with all the stuff.
Well, but here's what's good though, is that now that you do have kids, it's like, I feel like if you go through those piles of things, there might be things connected to your kids that you still feel like, I can't bear to throw this away. But there's going to be such a sharp delineation between that emotional connection and other shit where you're like, I don't need this anymore. You know, it really, like all the rules that people tell you of like, if you haven't worn this in a year, if you haven't blah, 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 and so long, it's really true. It's really true. And when you keep that stuff in mind, you look at things, it's like, yeah, I can get rid of this. Like, it served its purpose, you know. It's done now. I just don't need it anymore. It's not doing anything but bumming me out to look at it, or it's in the way of something else that I do need. You know, it's just better. It's just better to have a sort of scorched earth policy about it and just get rid of that shit.
Right.
Alison, I got diagnosed with ADHD this year, and
finally,
I mean, it truly feels like that when he mentioned it like a year ago. Like, hey, have you ever thought about this? I'm like, yeah. Moving on. And then he was like, seriously, listen to this book about it. And I finally got into it. I was like, oh no, I have this bad. But some of the things you're talking about, now I'm allowed to diagnose it. That's how it works. If you get diagnosed, you can diagnose everyone else. But a lot of the things you're mentioning feel really familiar to me. The piles thing just starts feeling like, okay, this is a pile of this, and I know the thing of like, once you start, you can't help yourself from like getting in the weeds on it. Like if you're going to open if you're going to go through a piece, you got to read everything on the page because you're going to re-experience it again, and then you got to. I
used to do that.
Man, it's the brutal.
Worst. It's the worst.
I feel that.
I remember. What book was it?
What book was it, Todd?
Yeah, what book was it, Todd?
I'll never know. It's one of the ones. I'll look it up. It's one
written
of the
by some guys a long time ago, and it's about a man named Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh!
Hell yeah!
I mean, it is the Book of Answers, and we all know that. There's like an updated version of it too because it is 100 years old. But it's
people talk a lot about ADHD these days, and it reminds me of something. Anno Domini has dawned. That's right. Jesus is coming, and there's nothing we can do to prevent it.
He's definitely coming. When he comes, he's going to fix my ADHD. That's what he told me.
What if he volunteers to help organize your desk?
Oh my God!
Is your mom Jesus Christ?
Does he need a microwave turntable?
Was he what?
Need a microwave turntable? He probably doesn't.
Of course he does.
He can do that himself. He can just
all those frozen bean burritos in heaven. You serious? He needs that thing.
I wonder if I have it sometimes. If I have ADHD sometimes, because I do have a lot of. I get laser focused on a thing when I like start a task, and then that task will take me over here. Then I start doing this other thing, and then it's like I have several in progress jobs around the house.
Yep.
That's like, okay, I got to pick a thing and do that first, and then I can do the other things.
It's the best way that I'm doing always 4 things at a time. It's kind of great.
Is it the best way?
It's not the best way, but it works.
Are you on 3 other podcasts right now?
Yeah, hang on 1 second. I know. That's what my input is.
What a great podcast. I know.
I'm getting attacked on that one. I know. It's called
like I said.
I'm real mean on this podcast. It's called Driven to Distraction. That's the name of the book.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the name of the podcast.
I did too.
I'd kill on that podcast.
All right.
You would crush.
I need to tell you guys about something important, and then I would like to hear some fun facts, if you have any facts that are fun. And then also, we need to hear a little bit about the background of Paul F. Tompkins' office, because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Okay, listen. I want to tell you guys
Lots
about
to
Fuzzy.
unpack, literally.
Yes. If you have a pet, they're part of your family. Fuzzy knows there's nothing that compares to coming home to a wiggle butt or waking up to soft purrs, and that we want to keep our pets healthy and make them as happy as they make us. Fuzzy is just an amazing service that I wish had been around years ago, and I wish I thought it up. And I just want to, turn it into a liquid, and then I want to drink it. And I feel like that is the weirdest thing to say. However, I just think it's so brilliant. It's a telehealth service for pet parents that offers 24/7 access to personalized pet care from veterinary professionals. And the reason I said that weird thing about it is just because I feel like, as a concerned pet parent, and you've heard me for years, so you know how
CPP.
That's right. It's concerned pet parent. You know how important the health of Wendy is to Daniel and me. I just know that there's nothing that concerns me more than like an after hours pet emergency or something happening with her.
An AHPE?
Yes. It's just, if your regular vet has only daytime hours and then you're worried, it's just, I just love that there's someone you can turn to 24/7. From everyday questions to middle of the night emergencies, Fuzzy has the answers pet parents need through live chat and virtual vet consultations available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fuzzy can answer your pet questions, big and small, urgent and everyday. Fuzzy can also recommend the exact right products for your pet, all of which are handpicked by their established team of veterinary professionals and available at discounts exclusive to Fuzzy members. From getting your pet's diet just right, to meeting their middle of the night needs, to finally figuring out what makes their breath smell that way. Wendy. Nothing is too big. I know. Talk about a controlled burn. Nothing is too big or small for a quick Fuzzy call. Right now, Fuzzy is offering our listeners a free 7-day trial membership. Go to YourFuzzy, that's yourfuzzy.com/Alison today to sign up. That's a free 7-day trial and access to exclusive member discounts on pet meds, supplements, food, and more at YourFuzzy, yourfuzzy.com/Alison. Again, yourfuzzy.com/Alison for your free trial of Fuzzy with access to 24/7 personalized pet care and vet recommended products. Okay.
Sorry, that's other podcast.
Are you still? Yeah.
Oh, they're coming back from a spot as well.
Yeah.
We're on the same schedule. All right, let's hear a fun fact from Paul.
All right. A fun fact about me is that, and it ties into the things that are hanging on the wall back there that are not diplomas at all. One of them is a copy of my arrest sheet from when I was smoking on the subway in Philadelphia in the early 90s, and a cop pulled me. It was something I'd never done before. Back when I was a smoker, I would smoke on the train platform, and then I had just lit up a cigarette and the subway came, and I was like, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I was like, I see people do this. What's the big deal? And I get on there, the car's pretty much empty, and I go one stop, and a cop says, "Hey, step off the train." And I was like, oh, now I'm going to have to wait for another train because this guy's being a Boy Scout or whatever. And then he's like putting me up against the wall and frisking me. And I'm like, I just had a cigarette, right? Like, do I look like somebody that is in trouble? And he put handcuffs on me and took me to, I forget which precinct it was in Center City. And I sat in a cell for like 45 minutes, an hour. And then they let me go.
Were you by yourself in there?
I was by myself in there. I had a cell all to myself.
Did he smell pot, or was it just he assumed that?
He never said. If he had any assumptions, he never shared them with me. I remember with the handcuffs on, we're going up the escalator, and I turned to him and I said, "Is this like a real arrest?" And he said, "It's like a parking ticket." And I said,
What?
I said, "Do they usually handcuff people for parking tickets?" And then he just stared at me, and that was the end of my questions.
Wow.
So did they ever give you Miranda? Did they do your rights?
No, he did not read me my rights. I don't know what the fuck was up with this guy, why he felt like this was important to do. But they gave me a copy on my way out when they gave me my fucking belt back.
Oh my God.
I was gonna hang myself. They took my belt. And so he gives me a copy of this thing, and and I had a Swiss Army knife that he was nice enough to give back to me. After I left the precinct, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was walking out, and I hear him go, "Hey," and I turn around, and he throws the knife to me, and I was like, "Thank you, I guess."
He thought he was being
weird.
awesome. Hey, buddy.
He thought he was being awesome.
Right.
Here's your knife, bro.
You can have this knife back. In fact, what I did was absurd.
All cops are buddies. Am I right?
Isn't it funny that this happened to you?
So is that on your record?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
what?
you legit
statute of
got-
limitations has expired.
Right. But you legit got arrested.
I legit got arrested
That's so weird.
for a super dumb thing. It was
Was
so
it a-
late at night. Why did this guy do this?
Was it an underground subway?
No, it was one of the above ground ones.
Above ground.
No, it was underground. It was not the L. It was not the L.
Look,
We were
I don't
underground
know.
at the time.
Look, the only subway I know of is in New York. Okay, I've seen the Ellen movies, and I didn't even know that Philadelphia had, what do you call it, like a metro or a
The Ellen
tube or something?
movies. What? What
The
Ellen movies?
Ellen in.
Oh, the L in movies. I was like,
Yes.
does Ellen have a film franchise?
I just assumed. I didn't even ask.
I've seen the L in
Yes.
movies. Thank you, Tony.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's the subway. It's not. It doesn't have a fancy name or anything.
You just call it a subway. Okay. So
Yeah.
it was underground. I don't know why it matters. For some reason, if it's above ground, it's even more annoying that he did this because you're practically outdoors.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
This is when people
being above ground is practically being outdoors.
That's right.
This is like when people are smoking on planes and stuff. Still, it's not that crazy to be
True.
inside,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to have smoked on a plane, right before it was banned. At that point, it was banned on. It was banned on domestic flights, but you could smoke on international flights once you crossed the international date line or whatever. So this was the first time I ever flew out of the country, and I was visiting my sister who lived in London at the time, and I sat in the smoking section, and when they made an announcement now you can do it, and all these people fucking lit up. It was disgusting. Even as a smoker, I was like, this is too much smoke.
I imagine people had cigarettes behind their ears. That always makes me laugh when they can't wait to get it out of the pack.
Oh,
They have
yeah,
it behind their ear.
And
I get it
so
closer.
stupid.
It's
I
just
knew
an inch from my mouth.
I knew a guy who was like a hardcore chain smoker, and it was very much a part of his personality. And he was like, I've been on flights so long that I've eaten cigarettes because I needed the nicotine. I'm like, you're dumb.
Oh,
What?
Cool.
That's so gross.
That story's not coming off the way you think it's coming off.
Oh, cool, man.
Wow, you really love cigarettes.
That's rad. I just heard this the other day. I've never heard this before. My friend played hockey all through college and stuff.
You've
And
never heard
another-
this?
It's a thing people do, I guess.
Yeah. With
That's
sticks
it?
and everything. Yeah.
They love it. They
Yeah.
love it.
It's either on ice or field usually.
That's what they said, and I didn't buy it. But these two guys were talking, and one guy was talking about smoking, that people used to drink and whatever before games and all this stuff. And I've never played a sport in my life. And then the one guy says to the other guy, "Do they do that thing where they put tobacco in their boots?" And the other guy, listen to this. The other guy went, "Oh yeah." Like that's and like where you guys are at is where I was. I was like, that can't be real. Apparently, your feet like absorb the nicotine. Like instead of chewing tobacco, they put it in their boots. Is that insane?
Like
And it's
in
a
what
known-
format?
What's that? Chewing tobacco.
In what format?
Vinyl.
Pal?
So they like line their boots with chewing tobacco.
Isn't that insane?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they when the guy said it, the other guy was like, "Oh yeah. Like
Your
it was such a
cigarette
known
eating
thing.
friend should have done that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly. Why don't you just crumble some up, put them in your socks, and you're good to go?
Your cigarette eating friend, has he heard of chewing tobacco?
But are you allowed to do it on a plane? I guess you are, right?
I mean,
Oh, that's so gross.
You know what? Chewing tobacco is so fucking disgusting
Yes.
that if you're going to do it at all, you're going to do it everywhere, right?
as well
You're going
eat a
to
cigarette.
do it in church. You might as well eat a cigarette and tell people you're eating a cigarette.
But like, I have
Hey,
questions.
watch this.
great trick.
Filter and all.
Yes, that's my question. Did he also eat the filter?
I don't think so. I think he just ate the tobacco.
So he didn't eat the
Fucking idiot.
paper as well. He like
I don't
opened
think-
it up.
I took it that he did not eat the paper, but who fucking knows? I guess if you're willing to do that, you might as well eat the paper.
Like, did he sprinkle it on yogurt? Did he just down it with a sip of water?
No, I'm sorry. It's not that crazy. He did sprinkle it on yogurt. Yeah.
Wait, I just want to know.
I was making it sound more ridiculous than it was.
I want to know if he's super discreet about it. Like, is he like hiding
There's
it?
no way he
Or
was.
is he just like,
There's no way he was.
Bro,
Does
I gotta
this
make
guy-
it through this flight somehow.
He was definitely
Like, he
making a
just
show
chilled.
out of it.
Does
For
he
sure.
look like Andrew Dice Clay?
No, he does not. He does not. He was a rock and roller.
Oh,
So he
sure.
was one of those tall, skinny guys.
That has to be, by
Guy-
the way,
guy-
Denny's
guys
ice
are-
cream.
Man, here's what I love. Guys like that are like, I'm going to have the same hairstyle for the rest of my life.
oh yeah.
That's it. I'll diet and diet and diet. And then when it's way past the time I shouldn't, I'll stop dyeing part of it.
I know. I went to Guitar Center last weekend. I hear you. Yeah, that guy. He's
Thank
in
you.
there.
Yeah, I feel heard.
I always appreciated how the smoke from the smoking section of the airplane had the courtesy to stop right
Yes.
where
At the
the
curtain.
smoking section
Exactly.
stopped.
I was
Very
on a flight with smoking. I definitely remember being on smoking flight.
That was you were in that plane crash, right?
Yeah, it was terrible. But that
I remember
slide
the
was
smoke
fun,
was
though.
mostly after the plane was not flying anymore.
Gosh, I know.
It was also a fire flight, from what I remember. You could have fire on the plane.
They had a campfire in the back. They lit one of the engines on fire, I think.
It was an open air flight.
Isn't it wild when you see a plane in an old movie or something? Not like a super old movie, but where the plane is the roomiest fucking thing you've ever seen. Like
It's
people
real
have so much
frustrating.
space. Oh, it's wild. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Do you know
That's
where
just
they
a
have a lot
bus.
of space? Do you guys watch Hacks?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the new season yet.
It's
but
so good. I love this show. It's so good. The tour bus they are on seems to be quite roomy. Now, some friends, Jenna and Al, who are frequently on the show and are going to be on, I believe they're on next week, actually. They have an RV, and the RV lifestyle has called to them. And my
Wow.
understanding is like, you can, like, the RV is modular in a way, and you can like make a living room out of it. It gets wider, it gets narrower. So
yeah.
Oh. I
perhaps
didn't
the
know that.
Hacks tour bus can get bigger and smaller. But there are moments on this tour bus that I'm like, this seems way bigger than I think a tour bus should be. That being said, we have professional rock and rollers and professional comedians on the show. Can tour buses get real big, guys?
Yes, they can. Yeah,
Okay.
when you're parked, like some buses have like a pop out in the front lounge, and it makes it like almost twice as big, and it's
Nice.
great.
The pop out is
From outside,
Yeah.
you think it can't make that much difference.
Yeah.
And somehow when you're in there, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think it also depends on how many people are involved in the tour. And a comedy tour, not that many people. That's just more room that you get, you know. I love tour buses.
Do you guys
Love 'em.
tour on a bus when you do like the Comedy Bang Bang, or if you do?
No,
like,
it's total planes, trains, automobiles. We're
Yeah.
we're taking everything. A bus is one of the things that I thought was unrealistic about that episode of Hacks was the sleeping. First of all, I understand if you're claustrophobic, of course, sleeping in one of those little bunks is terrible. I loved it, and I think it makes me want to take an MRI to see if I enjoy it. There's something about being in a little space like that is very reassuring to me.
Like a
I
little
liked it. It
womb.
was some of the best sleep I ever had. It is very womb-like, and like the swaying of the bus on the road is like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's
Yeah.
pitch black in there. You put tape over the little dumb fucking DVD player or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
But for Hannah Einbinder's character to be awakened by a bus slamming on its brakes that's impossible. Like if a bus, it takes so much for a bus to get to that point where you are being shaken forward from a laying down position that you would hit your head is just like something bad would have happened. That wouldn't just
Right.
be like, I stopped suddenly.
Right. Wait, Tony, don't you like sleeping in those little cocoons too?
I used to. Now that I like don't do it regularly anymore, I have a harder time with it. But when I used to tour like pretty much nonstop, I got so used to it that I had trouble sleeping when I would come home. Like sleeping in a bed without that like little like vibration and the hum of the bus and all that.
That's right.
Yeah, it was hard for me to sleep at home.
I am this kind of anxious person who, as a young person, when I would be on like a school bus or in a minivan, if I was in the back and it was being driven by like a coach or a mom by the way, I'm not a sports person.
The
so I
two
don't know
genders.
What'd you say?
The two genders.
Exactly. So I'm not a sports person, so I don't know why I was in scenarios where coaches were driving minivans, but I feel like I was a lot. It was always like some adult that I didn't know well driving a long vehicle and I was in the back. And I would just always be like, what if something happens and this person can't drive well? Like, what if they suddenly lose or they'd like, I feel like this happened a lot in my childhood and I don't feel like it would happen that much nowadays, but like they would park somewhere, leave the motor running and run in somewhere to get something. And I'd be like, what if the car rolls and I'm stuck in the back? So I would, long story short, I should have put the point at the top. I'm already dispensing with my new rhetorical style. Basically not trust whoever was driving the vehicle. So I feel like I'd be the person in my little tour bus womb cocoon who's like, I can't sleep because what if the driver doesn't drive well? Do you ever have that
you were
fear?
a kid, right? You were a kid who was not driving yourself, but you
Correct.
still were like, this person doesn't seem like they would be good at doing this.
Yes, no, I had to look alive in case I needed to run up and pull the emergency brake or save everyone
honey,
somehow.
You're still like this. You're still like this.
I am.
Yeah.
So
I
you were
was a
fun
backseat
kid.
driver at like age 7.
When we're driving together, or when I'm driving,
Oh boy.
and we're in traffic, and then the traffic ahead starts to slow down, it's like she's in a horror movie. It's like, ah! And it's like, we're fine, just slowing down.
I had 2 years on a tour bus where I slept like a baby, and 1 year where we had a really bad driver for a year, or for like the beginning of a tour, and it ruined me.
Yeah.
Like this story. So we had a friend who was like, he was like 19, and it was his first time out on the road. He was doing merch.
Oh God.
And they he gets up one night. He told us this, by the way, like 4 years later. We were all hanging out. And he's like, "Hey, did I ever tell you? One night I went up to use the bathroom, and I hear from the front seat, 'Hey, somebody awake?' And he's like, 'Yeah.' And the guy's like, 'Hey, come here.' And he's like, 'Hey, I got to use the bathroom. Just hop in really quick.' 19 years old, this kid. 'I'll hold the wheel. You hop in, you drive, and I'll run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.' And you like, when you're a kid, you're kind of like, okay, I guess this is. And he would like sat in the seat while the driver went to the bathroom and came back. He told us way later that this happened. But this same driver was like hitting rumble strips all the time and stuff. Insane. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And after that, I could never sleep on a tour bus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine how they manage the handoff of the wheel.
I mean, I'm assuming there's like
Why
a
not
cruise
just pull
control
over?
thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Right? Pull over all day.
Piss in a bottle.
1,000 things. 1,000 things.
They've invented these things for you weirdos who like to drive these things. This is your whole thing. You love it.
You love
So
a piss
many
in a bottle.
that aren't a teenager waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Such a drag, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm
That's bad.
I was not for it. I had a night where I woke up. I remember I was having a dream that I was like being buried alive, and I was like I was like ceiling, wall, ground, and I couldn't find the curtain. And I eventually found the curtain, and I stuck my head out, and my friend saw me. He said I looked at him like, oh my God, like I was finally safe.
Speaking of what we were just talking about, going to the bathroom. If you're like me, you're always looking to make sustainable swaps throughout your home. Maybe something that's not wrapped in plastic, doesn't use any harmful chemicals, and hopefully doesn't involve chopping down any trees. Luckily, it seems like there are more and more alternatives every day that I love to use at home and can help keep our earth beautiful at the same time. And my new favorite sustainable swap is Real Paper. Real makes a sustainable toilet paper that uses fast-growing bamboo and is always shipped in plastic-free packaging, even down to the tape on the box. The great thing about bamboo is that it's a grass, and just like a lawn, it can be cut and regenerated without harming the plant or the soil, so they're able to harvest the same plant over and over instead of cutting down trees. This is certainly preferable to the usual plastic-wrapped teepee that comes from our old-growth forests. The conventional stuff that contributes to deforestation and habitat loss offers something that we use once and then flush down the toilet. I love Real Paper. It is the perfect blend of strong but also soft enough to use. We use it all the time,
like me.
and we're super happy with it. And then also you feel good about using it. And they also make paper towels that are great as well. Real Paper is available in easy, hassle-free subscriptions or for one-time purchases on their website. All orders are conveniently delivered to your door with free shipping in 100% recyclable plastic-free packaging. If you head to realpaper.com/bestfriend and sign up for a subscription using my code bestfriend at checkout, you'll automatically get 30% off your first order and free shipping. That's Real Paper. Now listen up because it's spelled a little differently than you might be expecting. REELPAPER.com/bestfriend or enter promo code bestfriend to get 30% off your first order plus free shipping. Again, Real Paper, REELPAPER.com/bestfriend. Enter promo code bestfriend to get 30% off your first order plus free shipping. So let's stop flushing our forests and give Real's tree-free paper a try. 0 trees, 0 plastics, 0 compromises with Real. Okay.
Zero compromises.
I'm tired of compromising when it comes to my TP, Paul.
Me too. I make so many compromises. Look, what I'm trying to do is bipartisan toilet paper.
Yes. Todd Cooper,
Yes, ma'am.
a fun fact, por favor.
Oh, wait, we never really wrapped up Paul's fun fact, so let me just go.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun fact.
All right,
Thank
there we
you.
go. Now we can move on.
That is to the tune of Living Spaces, right?
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
Jackie Johnson singing. Yes.
I didn't know it was Jackie. That's great. Jackie Johnson, the most Texas person I've ever met.
She really is.
She described herself. I think she always does. It's so like your crazy aunt or something.
Yes, your kooky Southern
100%.
aunt.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's so funny.
She's been pregnant for 3 years. Isn't that wild?
She's been talking about it like since she found out. I think she was just like caution to the wind. Like, yep, let's go. I love it. She's the best. I haven't seen her in a minute. So I had like a game out of it, but Paul is here. There's no reason for a Todd Cooper game. Let's do.
What does that mean?
I think Paul would enjoy a game.
I want
well,
to play
tell
the game.
Yeah, we want a game.
Yeah, all right, I'll do a quick one. Of
We
them.
want a game. We
want
have
a
a
game.
What
Are you
is
playing
the game?
games on your other podcast that you're doing simultaneously?
Yeah, that's what I don't want to. I don't want to use them all here because I got other stuff. Okay, so let's see. I'll do. Okay, I'll just do this one as fast. I was in a cover band in college, And the question I have for you is, what was the cover band
Thank you.
Who Wants to Be a Bandonaire? Was it Fleetwood? Sorry.
Oh, multiple choice. Great.
Yeah, multiple choice.
I'm sorry, what's
Was
the
it-
question? What are we doing?
The question
I was just going to guess DC Talk, but I'm glad that there's options.
Oh, I am a Jesus freak. In college, I was in a cover band. Was it A, Fleetwood Mac cover band, B, Bon Jovi cover band, or C, Huey Lewis cover band?
Paul. I'm buzzing in.
Paul, go.
C. Huey Lewis.
Oh, anybody else want to guess?
I'm gonna go Bon Jovi.
Alison. I'm also going to guess Bon Jovi.
Well, see, I was gonna guess Huey Lewis, but not anymore.
Well, you saw that reaction.
Yeah. Holy shit. Going.
Oh, that should be on. More game shows should have that.
Is
Yeah.
that what I did? I didn't realize.
What is the Byzantine Empire? Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's no way you were in a Huey Lewis cover band and I wouldn't have known this by now.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
okay.
Well, what I was intending to do was try to figure out how to move forward. I was like, do I let other people guess? It wasn't a shrug off of your guess, Paul. I was like, oh, now what? How does this game work that I wrote? It was Bon Jovi.
Yay.
In the cafeteria during exams week, a friend of mine was like, hey, we should do a Bon Jovi band. And I was like, yeah, we absolutely should. We have nothing but time. And we learned 5 Bon Jovi songs, 2 of us ever having played an instrument. And then we told people Bon Jovi was playing at our house. Not like a cover band name, like, hey, Slippery When Wet is
Bon
playing.
Jovi was playing at our house.
Yeah. And everyone knew it was like us doing it, but we just were like, sorry, it's Bon Jovi. You're going to see Bon Jovi at our house. I was Bon Jovi, but classic dumb Todd Cooper could not remember all the words, but my smart friend could. So he was my brother Theodore Bon Jovi. Then he would sing the lyrics when I forgot them.
Did he know?
Theodore.
I mean, how would he just jump in very quickly, or was it like, I don't remember this part? Would you give him a signal like coming up? I don't know.
He did the heavy lifting. I was mostly just front manning it and cheerleading.
You would start off each song, and then he would just take over. Like you would get out, Johnny used to work on the dock, and then he would just sing the rest of the song.
You're like, where was he standing in relation to you?
It would just be like, we were just right next to each other the whole time. And then essentially the choruses, I'd just be like, hold on. Like I knew that stuff.
I'm more of a chorus man myself.
It was very dumb. And it was a lot of fun.
What did you call
And it's
yourself?
a fun fact.
Just Bon Jovi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Bon
a bold
Jovi.
move for a cover band.
Did
Yeah.
you spell it different or anything?
Not at all.
No?
We just told people Bon Jovi was playing. And it was the dumbest.
Did anyone think they were coming to see Bon Jovi?
No.
Okay.
They knew that we did not have that kind of pull.
Paul? Kind of
We didn't
booking
book.
power?
Booking power, that's the right word.
I heard a story on another podcast called 3 Bean Salad that I just have been getting into, where one of the guys told a story about seeing a Santana cover band in like an odd place where you were like, maybe this actually is Santana. This could be Santana. Like the size of the place was like, obviously Santana would be playing a huge venue, even, and this is a UK podcast. So even in England, it would be like, they'd be playing at a big place, but it was also like, I don't really know. I couldn't identify other than Santana. Maybe I could not tell you what any of these people's names are or what their faces look like.
Yep.
So if a guy does like a convincing Santana look, you could easily say like, no, I saw Santana.
And
Yup.
Santana
So
really
true.
is just hair and a mustache.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And
Sunglasses.
like, headband.
More
Yeah.
of a vibe. Did
Vibe.
you know
It's more of a vibe.
And Rob Thomas. up
in
there
Norwalk,
sometimes.
there's that
Yeah.
like outdoor drive-in or whatever theater, and every time I drive by it, it's like there's some cover band playing. It's like a Led Zeppelin cover
Mhm.
band, and I like an
Yeah.
Iron Maiden. There's a female, the Iron Maidens, I think they're called.
Yeah, I know. Like off the highway, there's that big sign. Is that what you're talking? Yeah, I know
Yep,
exactly.
yeah.
Which, yeah.
But like, it seems like a big venue. Like, it seems like a lot of people go.
Yeah, isn't it like a swap meet or something
Yeah,
right
that
there?
might
Isn't that
be.
what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time,
I'll
Why
buy that
not?
dresser.
That's
I love this song.
come see
bands
the
are kind of,
Piano Men and the Swap Meet.
I mean, cover bands are kind of the swap meet of bands, though.
True.
It's true.
This, now, this brings me to one of my favorite secondhand stories. This is not a story that I experienced, but my departed friend, the late Big Daddy Graham, a comedian from Philadelphia, one time was on the road. He sees a Roadhouse that is advertising tonight only fog hat. So he was like, sure, I'll go. And it's maybe one guy who was in fog hat and then a bunch of other people. This guy, I guess it was the guy who was allowed to call this band fog hat.
Yeah.
And so the place is packed and it's a straight up Roadhouse. It's like truckers and shit like that. It is packed with people. The band comes out on stage. They start with Smoke on the Water, right?
Slow Ride?
Slow Ride. Who was Smoke on the Water?
That's
Deep Purple?
Yeah, I think Deep Purple. Yeah, I think.
It's not. This is not a Deep Purple story. I apologize. So they start with Slow Ride. A huge fucking guy, a trucker in the back, standing like a head over everyone else. Like the third note, this guy points at the stage and goes, "That ain't fucking fog hat." Terrifying.
And
This guy was duped.
and now our country is nothing but that guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know if that's a Steve Agee story, but I want to hear. I feel like it could come out of his. That sounds like a Steve Agee story to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's cast him as the guy in the story.
Just think, anyone's using the fuck word. Steve Agee nails that.
I think it might be time for a segment we haven't done in a little while. This is called Yes Please or Oh Puhleeze. Now, this is where I bring up something controversial. People get canceled from this segment. We're not looking for diplomacy. We're not looking for middle of the road takes. This is hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're just going to step into the fray and talk about the hot issues affecting America right now. And if you get canceled, if you lose your following because you called it like you see it, so be it. We can't just ignore the important things, okay?
What happened to that thing you were going to do where you just like get right to the point?
That was it.
No.
This is fair, though, because it was a warning, which I think can be as long as it needs to be.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Didn't know Paul
But
was
look,
gonna kiss your
no matter
ass.
no matter what happens, I don't care because I love my haters. I love them. I love my
Haters
haters.
gonna hate. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They just make me stronger. I've got 4 things I'm choosing between. I'm just trying to figure out which would be best for this crowd right here.
Well, just take these 8 seconds to think about it.
okay.
Yes, please, give me some of that. Oh, please, that's much crap.
Or
Think
another.
out loud for a minute. I mean, one of them I already know what a
What
couple people's
a
answers are going to
silence!
be.
What a silence followed that jingle.
I even gave you 8 seconds. What more do you need?
I know. All right. I mean, God. All right. I'm just going to go with my gut on this one. I need
Okay.
to know how everyone feels about peanut butter cookies.
Yes, please.
Tony, why? Go.
Because they're delicious. Done. Next.
Wow. He's ready to go on tour.
I mean, yeah. Peanut butter. Yeah. Give me peanut butter.
I am
Like,
ready.
what more? There's nothing else to say. For real.
I have something to say. Now, it is unhostly of me to jump in. So if anyone else is ready to go, I'll let them go first. But
I'll go.
Okay, Paul, go.
You know what? Yes, please. Tony put it very well because initially I was like, peanut butter cookies aren't that great. And then when Tony said it's peanut butter, I was like, it is peanut butter. And I like peanut butter.
He was
yes,
right about that.
please.
It's
I will have the peanut butter cookie.
It's
Wait,
not
do I
necessarily
mean peanut
my.
cookies? What are they called?
Peanut butter
cookies.
They're called peanut butter cookies, right?
Do you mean the ones that have like the fork marks in them?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're called peanut butter cookies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not claiming they're like. I don't think they're going to be like my absolute first choice. But they're
That's
up
what I
there,
was
though.
thinking. But yeah, I'll take a peanut butter. I'm not going to say no. But I will say this, and maybe this is, Alison, where there's maybe a little bit of edge in this. Sometimes people put like there's pieces of peanut in there.
Right. Yeah. Often.
Yeah. I will agree with that also.
If I wanted a peanut, I'd eat a peanut. I want a peanut butter cookie.
Right. I think there's often peanut bits in them.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I hated them as a kid. Yeah. I hated peanut butter cookie. I would avoid them. Now, you know what also is nice is a peanut butter cookie with chocolate chips.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there you go.
That changes the equation a little bit.
That's the
If you can do that, do it. Why would you not be putting chocolate chips in a peanut butter cookie?
Exactly.
We've established that these are two great tastes that taste great together.
At this point, isn't it just one great taste?
It's become its own thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
that's the rebrand for Reese's. The one great taste.
I'm realizing I should have done oatmeal raisin cookies. Those are the true
More controversial.
controversial cookie. Todd,
I love a peanut butter cookie. In fact, I seek them out. If I see a plate of cookies and you see that hatch mark, somebody went in there with a fork and let you know that's peanut butter, take it easy. That's my first guy I go for.
Outlier.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care at all.
You're like throwing other cookies aside.
Get out of here, chocolate.
More like
chip.
chocolate chump.
Well,
I'm not a chocolate guy. I'm such a sugar free. I love candy, still as a grown up. But man, oh man, peanut butter cookie all day long. I love it.
All right.
well, this is not going to surprise anyone. I'm a real classic Puhleeze. It has got to be one of my least favorite cookies. I do not like a peanut butter cookie. If it is probably the last cookie I would go for on a tray of cookies.
Over the fucking oatmeal raisin bullshit.
Right.
I enjoy oatmeal raisin bullshit.
The worst. The worst.
What is this, Little House on the Prairie?
Is there anything worse than grabbing a cookie that you think is a chocolate chip cookie and it's an oatmeal raisin cookie?
The only thing worse, Tony, the only thing I can think of that's worse is when you're a kid and you think Baker's chocolate is regular chocolate. And you take a bite of that and you're like, what the fuck? Who did this to me?
Tony, if I went for like a sugar cookie and it turned out to be peanut butter, I'd be like, oh. Okay,
So,
that
do you
being
like
said,
peanut butter in general?
I don't hate it. And I also don't hate. Okay, this is where, look, I should be thrown off my own show. I don't hate a peanut butter cookie, but I don't like it and I don't want it. It's not, I'll put all the other cookies ahead of it. If someone hands me one though, I'm not going to be like punching them or something. Like I will eat it. I don't care for it very much.
You're saying, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's what I think you're saying is that it shouldn't even be an option because it muddies the cookie waters. If you're adding a peanut butter cookie in there, that means potentially I'm going to get that cookie. It should not even be a thing so that it gets me closer to getting the cookies that I do like. There should only be these options, etc.
That's what I'm saying. However, and this is where I get that it's a little confusing. If I want a cookie and my choice is no cookie or peanut butter cookie, I still would probably, if I have enough to drink, and I'm not talking about alcohol, I'm talking about not having like a dry peanut butter cookie mouth. If like, as long as there's a beverage near me, I still would probably accept the peanut butter cookie, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've bought one out of a case at a bakery. I've chosen it. I said, give me that.
I know. I think that I am the weird one here.
And then like the balloons fell and there was like confetti and stuff.
People were mad at me.
You're the first one.
No, Todd, you're more normal. I'm unusual. I like an oatmeal raisin cookie. I know it's unusual.
So how do we feel about peanut butter ice cream?
Oh, I love it.
I mean,
Love it.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
It's
still
really good.
good. Not going to be my first choice, but I'm certainly not going to turn it down.
I'll tell you what,
kick it out of bed.
the Jenny's with the peanut butter with the dark chocolate flecks in it.
Yes,
that's some good ice cream.
Yes, it is. It is. Allison, how do you feel about it, though?
Well, I think I had a few bites of it when we had it, and I must admit it was surprisingly good.
Okay, then.
A Nutter Butter?
Let's really break this down. How do you feel about peanuts, and how do you feel about butter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
finally.
I don't
Where
really
does it
like
break
peanuts.
down for you? Is it with the peanuts or the butter?
The problem is the peanuts. Butter is fine. But
Okay.
peanut butter, no, I'm not into, really. I've never really wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Sorry.
I'm actually not a peanut butter and jelly person either. I'll do a peanut butter sandwich, but I don't care for the jelly.
Peanut butter sandwich bites. That's just too much like a guy in a cartoon. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. I couldn't
Just
tell you
like
the last
that.
time I made one, but when I was a kid, yeah.
My dad, I talked about this recently. My dad used to put butter on his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Whoa.
So it'd be peanut butter, butter, and jelly.
That's probably really good.
I
Guys,
bet it is. I don't know why I've never tried it. It just
was a
seemed
real
like
butternut.
too, even as a kid, that seemed like too much.
Yeah.
I feel like you would barely taste it. It would just add a more greasy mouthfeel to it.
He liked a greasy mouthfeel.
That's what I heard.
You knew that about your dad.
My dad, he never, it was the one thing he ever would talk about at length.
Oh,
Not enough grease in there.
Can you put more grease in here? Just go back, ladle it out of the pan. He loved grease.
How's the mouth feel on that? Greasy?
we're not a big toast
More
house.
oily or greasy? You're not a big toast house.
Well, what I was going to say is we haven't been. I think. By the way,
Not by choice.
no, because I had a real we didn't have a
Government
toaster, and we
stripped
also
me of my
didn't.
toaster.
We didn't have a toaster, and we also didn't buy bread. But now that we have children, we have both toaster and bread, and there's been a lot of toast happening in the morning.
Yeah.
There's really few better smells than toast in the morning.
So good.
Really
So
up
good.
there.
When you were a kid and you figured out that cinnamon toast was a thing that you could make,
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that was a game changer. That was. A
I've
game
been
changer.
making that for Elliot, and he's very into it.
Yeah.
So good.
I haven't
think
done
we
that for
should-
Sam yet. She'll lose her mind.
Oh yeah,
I'll never
it's so
hear that.
easy too.
Oh my God, yeah.
Todd,
We'll have
who
to
does
do it
Sam
special.
like more these days, you or Sarah?
Sarah all day long. She had like a couple times where she was like really into dad and like, oh man, defaults to mom.
Do you think she likes Sarah more because they're the same height?
She's like Sarah, when Sarah like travels and stuff, it's like she comes home and it's like a special thing. And
Oh.
like, I'm the bozo who's always there. She's like, get out of here. Give me that lady. So
Oh. Wait,
Yeah,
how
she's-
how short is Sarah?
she's supposed to be like 5'6" or 7.
No, really?
Is she taller than that? She's taller than that, right?
I'm
That's
5'9".
that
She's not
sounds-
2 inches shorter than me.
I don't know.
I don't
She's
think
a
of her as
petite
like
lady.
especially
Yeah.
tiny though.
She's not. She's not like you trip over her. You know what I mean?
yes, I do know what you mean.
But she's a petite lady.
She little. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
little.
She little. She must be 5'4" or something, right? I can't tell.
Yeah, I think she's about the same height as my wife Janie. I think
Are
they're
they
about
the same height?
Yeah, well, they're standing back to back all the time, and I'm like,
You can't
I
pick
get
them
it.
apart.
You guys are the same height.
Paul, do you still have the measuring thing on the wall?
It's
With
like
pencil mark?
it's like a groove in the wall now. It's like
Yeah.
we've measured this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
We're gonna start shrinking soon.
You're
This is gonna
done
be great.
growing. That's not for years.
Let's say hello and welcome and thank you to the new patrons.
Alison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AlisonRosen.
Hello and welcome to Melissa, who's at the texting level. Oh boy. And then also Chris Klonicky, who I feel, that's one of Daniel's friends. He was brought in by the promise of Daniel's emotional nudity, I suspect. Hello and welcome. Reminder, sign up for a year, get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
That's right.
good deal.
Patreon.com/AlisonRosen. Okay. Oh boy. Looking at the time, I think we should close out with a Just Me or Everyone from Todd, and it just
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
There's There's so many more jingles since the last time I did this show.
Yes, it's jingle
perhaps
heavy.
also one from Paul. Well, see, that's the thing. You were on the Monday show.
Yeah.
The Thursday show is jingles and maybe a guest or 5. It's mostly jingles. It's not mostly jingles.
I enjoy the jingles, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I do enjoy the jingles.
Thank you.
The guy in the straw hat likes jingles. I mean, I appreciate that.
It really makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's all coming together.
Todd, do you have it just me or everyone?
I do. When I think of something embarrassing, if I am reliving it in my head, I don't even realize it's happening, but I find myself either like talking or singing or something, and I think it's just my body trying to break me away out of the shame of my embarrassment that I'm reliving in my own head. So I'll just be sitting in the house. If you were to see me, I'd be like this, thinking, and then I'd be like, okay, all right, okay. And then I'm like, oh, I'm talking.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I feel like that's not, I can't say I have never done that and that I never do that. I don't know. It's weird. The things that I find myself saying out loud when I'm alone are very strange. Where it's like it happens and then I'm like, why did I say that out loud? No one's here.
I never realized how much I talked to myself until I started driving the kids to school in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the back seat, of course. And every now and then, Julian, Elliot will go, what? What did you say? And I'll have to go, did I say something? And realize, I was just talking to myself. And my son is extremely confused about why and what is happening up there. So,
well, he should be on guard for when he needs to grab the emergency brake.
Yeah. Son, can you just hold on to the... Yeah,
you never know when someone something could take someone out and they could lose their ability to drive while they're driving.
Very true.
Todd, I don't do that. For a second, I thought this was going to go,
and it's weird.
Well, no, I'm going somewhere weirder with it. I thought this was going to go where with what I do, which is going to make people uncomfortable. When I think of something embarrassing in my head, like very embarrassing, there's two things I have a mental picture of, either like like whacking myself, like taking the palm of my hand and like just beating my head with it. Or like curling up, like tucking my head under, and basically like I wish I could just climb up my own butthole. I just want to like make my body so tiny I'm so embarrassed. Anyone else? No? Okay.
That's very specific. I can't say I've experienced that. It is annoying though. When I used to be a big ruminator, and like it would be lying in bed and thinking of various scenarios, things that did happen, things that I wanted to happen, things that should have happened, whatever. And so now every once in a while when that happens, when I catch myself doing it, because it's been like a thing that it was a problem that I addressed and figured out how to not do it so much anymore. Every once in a while, if it happens, I'm like, this again? Like, I can't believe I got as far into whatever it was to where I was like, what? I've been thinking about this for fucking 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Why?
Wait, how did you
able to stop?
Yeah, same question.
Well, it was like when I started going to therapy a million years ago, and I started to figure out what my issues were. The things that I used to worry about were not so much things that I worried about anymore. Like, it's not like I didn't have problems anymore, but I didn't have those emotional, like, well, I'm going to say this and then she'll say that and then I'll say this. Like, that stuff went away. Like, I stopped doing that. So now when I do, every once in a while, I think of like a thing that happened like so long ago, and like I should have said this. I'm like, those people might not even be alive anymore. Like, why am I thinking about this?
Does that ever bring you comfort, though, that thought? Because there's a
It
real
does. Like,
smear.
immediate. Wait, which part? Before I answer this
so
question.
fucking dark. This is so dark. I can't believe I'm admitting this. This is so dark. I should not admit this. I will think about something like unpleasant from 1,000 years ago, and then I'll be like, I don't even know if they're alive anymore. And then I'm like, okay, that's, and then I feel relief over the idea that like these people might not be walking the earth anymore. And then I feel extreme guilt over that. And then I just like cleanse myself of that whole thought. It happens very fast.
I know the quickness of that chain of events. I have not had that specific thought, but I do know that idea of like in such rapid succession, you have this very complex examination of something, and then it's over, and it feels good after it's over.
Do you? Yeah. I've had the experience of thinking of something really embarrassing from my past and realizing that the other party has passed away and feeling relief.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I just said.
It doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. There's no more
the
witnesses.
ledger's
There's
white.
no witnesses.
Yeah.
Man, just the term ruminating, I've never heard it called that. Like, I know the word, of course, but like hearing it, ruminating. Am I saying it? Just having that kind of descriptor is really helpful to think about it that way, because that is I do that all the
chewing your own cud.
Oh man, I love it. I wake up in the middle of the night. And I'm like, what if this happened? Then I don't sleep for an hour. Like just thinking of what if. What's why?
Yeah.
Unhelpful. Yeah.
Terrible.
Speaking of talking out loud, there was this video. So Elliot was very, very young. So I was like in the brand new mom, and I kept
This is
doing
when you could talk to yourself with abandon.
Yes, I
You
did.
could do it
this
anytime
thing-
you wanted.
I took a video where I thought I took a video, but it was the thing where like I thought I turned the video off and then put my phone to the side, but that was when I had turned on. Like actually I had turned it on and then put my phone to the side. So I found a video it was just a recording of me changing his diaper.
Oh yeah.
And I said okay like 45 times. Like okay. 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 And it was like I was saying it to myself. It was just this like nervous tick of like me almost like trying to reassure myself that like I could do this.
But it
I had no idea I said it so often.
Is it like you were saying it as you were completing parts of the process?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, especially-
and
Especially like if you are, for me anyway, I don't think I've ever changed a diaper. And I think if I was a new parent, it would be nerve-wracking to feel like, oh, I have to make sure that I do this right because something bad could happen.
And they also advise you to talk to the baby a lot. And at the beginning, for me at least, that felt weird. Like, okay, they talk through the process. Like, okay, we're going to put you on the changing table. And now we're going to take off the little dirty diaper. And now we're going to... And like, I remember feeling very strange doing that at the beginning.
You were probably talking to Elliot too, like when you were saying okay.
I think I was,
You're like to
but
the baby. You know, you're like, okay, it's okay. Like,
Yes, but I remember it being... It really did sound more like I was talking. Yes, I was talking to him, but it sounded more like I was talking to myself.
When I said the baby, I meant you.
There's so much
All
of that
right.
early times with the baby, like you're just trying to get, like, you're in that state of like, okay, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then that.
Yeah.
You're just survival mode. And
Yes.
you're kind of just checking off the list, and it just gets more granular. So like, okay, the main phase here is diaper change. Got it. Okay, first step, and I feel like so much of that time is just like, okay, I checked that off. Now what? Okay, now feed. Okay, got it. Now,
Right.
man, getting through that time, it's like kind of nice to just be able to check things off a list
Yes.
to survive.
Right. It's funny because when Owen came along, it did feel a bit like second nature, and I was happy that I had sort of a muscle memory for it. But with Elliot, everything was difficult to try to figure out the order of things, and it didn't come naturally for me, at least. What am I? Oh yes. Okay. But I got stuck in, well, but some parts of it did come naturally. Anyway, Paul, do you have it just me or everyone?
Oh, I sure do.
Wonderful.
Is it just me? Or are we very much in the momentum, the unstoppable momentum of the other side of peak TV? I feel like TV, what you got so good, and now it's getting bad again.
Interesting.
Now we have there's all these true crime not docuseries, but dramatized versions of podcasts and shit like that are 7 episodes when they should have been 90 minutes. You have things like the Carol Baskin, Joe fucking
King.
whatever, the Tiger King. Then so much later they did a dramatized version of that. Like no one wants this. We're all embarrassed that we watched Tiger King and we want to pretend that it didn't happen. No one wants to see this. You have this Angeline miniseries, and look,
what is this?
No offense to anyone who worked on it. I'm sure I know somebody who was involved in that project in some way, but like, who is it for?
Yeah.
Who is that for? When I think of like people in other parts of the country, much less the world, like watching this documentary about this local celebrity who is not interesting.
I know who is the guy that would drive the cars around, the actor
Dennis Woodruff.
Dennis Woodruff.
Yes.
That's let's do that.
Might as well. I'm sure they're working on it. Like, why not? But it's like I feel like we're in this weird, desperate time of television where everybody's like, the staircase. Let's go back 20 years and grab this story. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
And stuff is not good. Like, there's still some really good stuff, but there's a bunch of other stuff that's like, man, this did not need to be made. This is not worth it. It's not worth the time that went into this. Just me.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
I brought my own stuff. So that's how I end my little thing as I blow my train whistle.
I love that. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah.
Here's something. So my friend, who I take a lot of television watching advice from, except that
Warren Littlefield, you can say it.
I loved Severance, and she hasn't watched Severance yet. But anyway, I
love Severance too. By the way, I want to get that on the record.
She asked. She did recommend. She'd only watched like the first 3 episodes of The Staircase, but she recommended that. She thought it was pretty good, but she was asked me like, "Are you familiar with it or have you seen it?" And she said, and I hadn't. She's like, "Don't look it up because it's based on like a very famous case. There's a twist to it, and like once you look it up, it'll spoil it. You'll like you've probably heard about it. Blah blah blah." I watched the first episode, and because I have no patience, I'm like, I can't take it, and so I looked it up. Spoiled the whole thing for myself.
She did this with like Twin Peaks too. This is what she does. It's like first episode, looks it up.
I watched a lot of Twin Peaks before I spoiled that for
Like 2
myself.
episodes.
And with Twin Peaks, it was a mistake. With
the original
Staircase, it actually
series?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with Twin Peaks, I regret that I did that. But with The Staircase, though, I am still enjoying it, even though I have already sort of read about the outcome. Here's the thing, though. I looked it up and I'm like, actually, somehow I never heard about this case. I don't know how it eluded me. Were you totally familiar with the case before this latest series, this latest retelling of it?
I watched the original docuseries.
Okay.
Back when it was new, and I would watch it with friends. It was when I lived in New York for a year, and it had come out maybe the year before or something, and so we would get together and watch it. And then when the new one came out, we sort of watched it long distance together, and I thought it was really fascinating and really well done. And watching the HBO one, I'm like, this is not nearly as compelling as the real case. And I also think Colin Firth is making this guy less of a weirdo in this than when you see the real guy. It's like, this guy's out of his Like, of course he killed this woman.
You can tell just from looking at
Yeah.
pictures. I said to Daniel, I'm like, look up the real guy. Colin Firth is so much more likable looking, and Colin Firth is doing like a very uncharismatic portrayal of him.
Yeah, he's
However,
taking it down.
There's something in just the still photos of the actual guy where I'm like, there's something going on there.
Yeah, I was like, watching the show. I hadn't watched the documentary. I was like, I have a problem here because there doesn't seem to be a strong motive. I don't know that I believe he did it. And then I looked up a picture of him, and I'm like, I guess there doesn't need to be a motive. This guy, I get it. He did it. He's weird looking.
So wait,
Most murder cases, sure, there's a motive. This one, I would buy that there was none.
No.
So wait, Paul, from watching the original, you are not questioning his guilt?
No, I do not question his guilt. He's an extremely histrionic person. I don't know if he killed her because he had something that he wanted to hide, which is what they tried to say. I think that maybe he didn't want to be married to this person anymore, and he also had a previous wife who died from falling down the stairs. You can't get past that.
Okay,
we talked about lightning striking. There's no twice. There's not,
and the fact that he didn't mention it so early, like he did not that if that happened, the first fucking thing you would say to your defense team is, now, by the way, here's what's important for you to know.
Right. Because the HBO documentary, to the point that we are in it, is definitely raising a lot of questions about.
They're keeping it vague. And the other thing is like the broken cartilage in her neck. Like the fact that's like, you got to answer for that.
Yeah.
Here's a problem.
Here's what to me is the bummer about the HBO one is that because it is dramatized, what the
dramatized.
fuck?
A dramatization,
right? Yeah, dramatized.
Dramatizationized.
There's a different word. What
dramatized.
It can't be that. It's got to be something else.
Dramatized.
Fictionalized,
right?
whatever.
Dramatized.
Because it's dramatized. There's 3 different theories as to how she died. They play out all 3 theories with Toni Collette enacting this death, and it's a bummer. It's a fucking bummer.
It's hard to watch,
especially after the second one. You're like, oh, there's going to be a third one. I can't believe this. Maybe even a fourth one. I have no idea where they're going to go with this.
The third one with the owl.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is in the behind the scenes they show they did it all like everything's green screen.
Green screen, yeah.
So they had a stairway, but it was all green. So all of the texture of the house was computer. Like, what?
Wow.
Why not just? Why do a green screen? That's the biggest.
If you were going to do a sketch about that, like it would be like, and they were like behind the scenes, that's what it would be. They would have built stairs on a green screen, and it would have been funny. The idea that you wouldn't just be in a house.
Yeah.
It's insane. Hey, I have to say, I like thinking about this whole concept like of TV getting bad. It's like this thing. I've been thinking about this too, Paul. There's this thing of like risk that happened when things moved from the big studios to like Netflix to like on like to the digital platforms. And when it was happening, the only way that the small guys could succeed was to take risks. They didn't have the money to like buy old properties, so they would just like go like, I don't know, what's the prison one with the women?
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black.
The Orange is the New Black.
The Orange is the New Black.
I win.
I said it too.
Alison, Orange is the New Black.
Todd,
we all knew it. Go on.
But like that was like no one had seen that show. No one had seen anything like it, and they were like, take a risk, and it lands them somewhere. And it's a series of risks that like risk reward. And the same even with like AMC trying to survive with like Breaking Bad, right? Like trying to figure out how to keep people around. And now that everything's shifted to Netflix is like, we don't have the money somehow to like go with risk anymore. They have to prove it. Everything has to be proven. So they just buy old crap.
That's the land. Even Orange is the New Black was based on a book.
Right.
Fuck.
I hate
What did
books.
I say? Huey Lewis again?
It also feels like the metric is off. Like it doesn't have to be as good. Like it has to be good enough. It has to be good enough. Yeah. Especially with Netflix, where they're not gonna renew anything past like 3 seasons.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So
Yep, that's right.
It's everything's just it feels like it's like it needed to be worked on a little more.
And now like miniseries are back, and so there you can get like a big star for a finite amount of time to do like a 6-episode thing or whatever. But it's also it's such diminishing returns. Like when you look at like the HBO stuff, like The Undoing or whatever, that just wasn't that good. Like even with big name people in it, it was just like, nah, you know what I mean? Like their fame did not help that become a better project. I mean, I'm sure it got more people to watch it, but I think people are now they're starting to get a little more wary about these things. It's like, yeah, I know there's famous people in it, but I got burned before. You made me watch some stuff that wasn't that good just because famous people were in it.
Right.
They're in everything now. Famous people are in everything.
They're in
podcasting,
everything.
commercials.
And it's
They
hard.
really are.
It's got to be hard for a creator. Like if you're a creator doing a show, you have to cast Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
And it's like,
If it's on HBO, you got to get to go get it.
you know,
Apple seems to be taking some risks. Like, but I mean, but for how long until they're established enough that people all sign up and then they can bail it?
I'm sorry,
fair-
Todd. Could you get further back from your computer?
I'm
I know.
in a rocking chair and it really gives me range of motion for this podcast. And I'm handheld.
It will be interesting to see what's going to happen, because it does seem like it's an untenable situation where Nicole Kidman aside, like you're not going to be able to get these people to recommit to a bunch of limited series, miniseries, whatever, unless it's something like Marvel, which is like, yeah, we'll do these sort of 1 or 2 off series based on our movies, and we'll get the people from the movies to be in them. And, you know, I don't know. It just seems like I just don't imagine they're going to be able to do it forever unless you are somebody like Apple or Marvel or whatever, where they're like, we actually have like more money than you can even imagine. So we can do this until we figure it out. You know, we'll just keep throwing money at shit until we figure it out.
Yeah,
But
that
once they
said,
figure it out,
I feel like Star Wars finding its way as a TV property now is working.
It's fun. Yeah. I think they figured out how to make it fun.
Yeah.
You guys, this has been. Did I cut someone off?
No, I felt like I brought us.
Yeah,
I felt like I brought us to a low. I
No,
took
you
that on
didn't at
myself.
all. No.
Didn't.
This
We're
has
going to
been.
Star Wars, we
What's
just
happening?
think Tony's going to jump in.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me started on my
Everyone's leaving
stories.
space. Everyone's leaving space for Tony.
Todd.
Tony
has
Todd.
been-
Candyman.
Did I watch Obi-Wan 3 times in 24 hours? Don't worry about it.
Dang.
Amazing.
How long is it?
Well, there were 2 episodes
10
that
minutes.
dropped.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just an hour. That's fine.
Very experimental.
They're
They're doing 10-minute shows.
Yeah,
Really
it's
going
only for your phone too. It's so weird.
It's just a quick bite.
Catchy.
Well, our friend Pete of Star Wars Minute was in Anaheim at a Star Wars convention all weekend.
Yeah, I was there on Thursday, but I only
Oh.
went Thursday.
It looked fun. I saw a lot of Insta pictures.
It was fun, but I was already exhausted when I went, and it was a little crowded for my taste. And like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going on tour in a week. I was double masked and everything.
Right,
and
right,
I'd
right.
just gotten my other booster, and I was like, feel like I was as safe as I could possibly be, but still, it was just like a little too packed in there, and I was just like, I don't think I want to be here very
I
long.
heard that it was a spreader event though.
Really?
People are getting it. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. There were definitely a lot of unmasked people. Yeah.
And you just went to a big wrestling show, and we didn't have a
I
chance to talk.
did.
This is it's such
I had
a long
I had
show.
a real nerdy week last week. I
Yeah.
had a real good time.
Oh, but wait, you're not going to be. I was going to say you're going to be here on Friday, but you're not going to be here on Friday.
No, this is it.
No.
Tony.
No,
Aw.
I'm replacing you. We waited till the end to deliver the news, but I'll be
Yeah.
replacing Tony.
I mean, yeah,
Very exciting.
that's cool. I feel good. I feel the show's in good hands.
I brought my own jingles.
Amazing. Tony, have you found someone to watch Bentley, your dog?
Yes, he's actually over at that person's house at the moment, just giving a little like, let's get him like adjusted a little bit right now. So,
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
This is somebody Bentley already knows and trusts.
No, he had not met them before, so that's why like giving him a couple days of some lead up time. But yeah, I'll get him back in a little bit here.
I feel like while you're on tour, Tony, I'm probably going to try to talk you into coming on as like a Monday show guest or a Patreon guest so we can catch up with Tony.
I mean, I'd be happy to if it's all about timing and me being able to have quality internet and a quiet place to do it. Because that's not always easy on tour.
Oh,
if
Tony,
we
can you, when you're on stage every night, can you plug the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Please, that'd be great.
But can you also interrupt a song that is in progress to do it?
Yeah. Yes. Like during I know you don't really do drum solos, but could you write some and then during one?
Just imagining like the concert's in full swing. In the middle of the song, the drums drop out, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" Tony just waits for everyone to give him the attention.
Just talking in the snare mic.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Do you guys like podcasts?
Hey, if you're enjoying this,
Podcast.
Are these songs too long for you guys?
Do you wish there was less music, more talking?
Do you wish the music to talking ratio was inverted?
Oh my gosh. This has been so much fun. Thank you for joining, everyone. Listen, listeners, if you like what you're hearing, or even if you don't, please leave us a nice
Especially
review,
if you
5
don't.
stars, because we read them on the show sometimes. And make sure you're subscribed. Listen to my other podcasts, Childish and Upwardly Weekly. Upwardly Weekly is my lighthearted news podcast that comes out on Saturdays. And I think like just recently we did 6 joyful news stories, which I feel like people could use right now. So listen to that and listen to Childish and follow me on social media at Alison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. I was going to say Tony, but I'm getting out of order. But I am going to say, Tony, I already miss you. And I don't want you to go, but I know you're going to have a great time.
But I love to watch you walk away.
Todd Cooper, thank you for joining us. Where can we find you? Plug anything you would like to plug.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me back. I love being on. It's so fun to be with you guys. I just forgot to plug my band last time. The art thing that I do, I plugged in my dumb business. I'm in a band called God Collider. It's a aggressive hardcore band. I don't know if you've got fans that listen to that kind of stuff.
I like mellow hardcore.
We're playing a show in LA with Darkest Hour on July 3rd.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to be gone. Reschedule.
Yeah. I just canceled, actually.
Okay, thank you.
We're working on an LP, and I'm also in a band called Pet. It's a like sort of a shoegaze band that's on Spotify, and that's less aggressive with a female singer.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Paul F. Tompkins, what about you?
Well, August, Comedy Bang Bang going on tour. I'll be there with Scott Aukerman and a rotating special guests, and we're going to a lot of cities. Not all the cities. Sorry, guys. couldn't make it to every city, but we are doing a lot of places we haven't done before. We're going to Cleveland for the first time. We're doing 3 cities in Texas. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are on sale. You can go to cbbworld.com/tour and find out all the information. And a little closer, Varietopia with Paul F. Tompkins, which is a variety show that I do at Lodge Room in Highland Park. Sunday, January. Come on.
Take it
so
again.
close. So close. Sunday, July 3rd, Independence Day Eve. You can't sleep. All you're thinking about is your presents.
And what you're going to wear.
Come on out
Costume.
to that show. We always have special surprise guests. It's comedy and music and whatever else. It's a really fun show. You can go to paulftompkins.com/live to find ticket links. Did I think anything? That's all I can think of. I'm
A
hungry.
little
I
bit
got
of a
hungry all
live
of a
show
sudden.
competition, except Todd canceled his. So
That's
good.
right. Look, go to. No offense, everybody. To me, go.
Wait,
see
was
Paul.
yours also on July 3rd?
It is. I know. I was when
Oh,
I heard
shit.
you announce it on your was one of the things I listened to, Three maybe, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't go because I'm gonna sing a dumb show."
What time is yours?
Mine's at like 7 or something. Maybe I'll come late.
I want people to double dip if they can.
Oh,
Do it,
I
guys.
love a double dip.
do
can
it.
do
You
it.
can only do it in New York.
Daniel, what about you?
Oh, well, you can find me at twitter.com/Daniel Quantz and Instagram, same name, if you're into that sort of thing.
Think I'm not gonna
Great.
look this son of a bitch
Tony.
up and follow him immediately?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and my podcast Bizarre Albums every Tuesday. And I want to say, just because this was exciting for me this week it is a Joe Pesci album from 1968 under
wow.
the stage name Joe Ritchie, and it was long before he was famous or an actor.
Wow.
Yeah,
Joe
and
Pesci
it's a
album.
very hard
Holy
record to
moly.
find, and I found it recently, and I was very excited. Anyway, so that's this week's episode.
Hey, how did I'm gonna bring it down. Never mind.
All
Is it
right.
going to be a joke? Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
how did JFK Jr. die again? Was that where you were at?
No. Did he die though?
Right? Vincent Fusco.
This has been a true
I wasn't
delight.
done with my
Okay.
plugs, Allison.
Great. How was I to know?
And then, this is my last show, as we said, for like almost 2 months. Motion City Soundtrack's going to be on tour all over the U.S. We do not have a show on July 3rd. I just checked. So that night's,
Weird.
we're not competing.
Hey, it's all back.
You're welcome, guys. But yeah, we'll be pretty much everywhere else, every other major city in the U.S. And also, real quick, I said it last week, but my friend Chelsea Christer directed a documentary called Bleeding Audio about an old Epitaph band called The Matches. I am briefly in that documentary. It's just a great movie overall. So check that out. You can now get it Amazon, iTunes, all that stuff. So check that out. Bleeding Audio. Now I'm done.
We're gonna
may
miss you,
proceed.
Tone Zone.
Yeah. You guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.